class, for this session, we will be discussing the contextualized online search and research skills. So our topic outline for this afternoon are the online search, tips in conducting an online search, how to evaluate web resources, the concept of copyright infringement, and search skills and tools. For the learning competencies, use the internet as a tool for credible research and information gathering to best achieve specific class objectives or address situational challenges. You will be able to facilitate the practice in judging the credibility, value, and usefulness of research materials, generate the right keywords in searching and using the search engine, facilitate the practice in judging the credibility, value, and usefulness of research materials, and of course, browse the internet efficiently and properly through standard referencing. So, I have here, class, a question po, and you need to answer this question in a comment box. Do not forget to type your name and your section, no? So, the question is, have you ever experienced searching the internet for certain information where the search engine return a different result? So, ibig sabihin, si search engine ang binigay sa inyo na result ay different dun sa ine-expect natin na or ine-expect mo na result. Okay? So, let's say for example, class, if you were to search for bamboo as the Bamboo Filipino artist, syempre ang ilalagay nyo doon ay you would probably use the keyword bamboo to search for it on the internet, no? So, itatype mo bamboo. But if you use the same keyword nowadays, class, you are more likely to stumble upon a bamboo, the plant, instead. Imbis na ang lalabas ay yung si bamboo na Filipino artist, ang lalabas, class, dun sa result ng search engine ay bamboo na plant, no? But if you use the bamboo Filipino artist, tinype mo bamboo Filipino artist as the keyword in the first place, you will be given appropriate result and you will be directed to the right place, no? Katulad nito, class. Tinype natin dyan, bamboo Filipino artist as the keyword. So, the search engine class will give us an appropriate result. So, ang lalabas ay si Bamboo Manyala, the Filipino artist. Okay? So, what do you think, class, is the significance of using specific keywords when conducting an online search? Okay, kindly type also your answer in the comment box. And again, do not forget to type your name and your section for checking po. Okay? So, ang tanong, what is the significance of using specific keywords when conducting an online search? So, using specific keywords kasi, class, when conducting an online search is significant. It is very important because it helps narrow down the search results to more relevant and precise information. So, ibig sabihin, nakakatulong to, class, para mas maintindihan ni search engine exactly what you're looking for, which reduces the number of irrelevant results, and mas madali nating mahahanap yung relevant information. So with that, it saves time, no? Kasi by filtering out yung mga unrelated content, mas makakasave ng time dahil makikita natin agad yung hinahanap natin na information. So, overall, using precise keywords, class, it enhances the effectiveness of your search and ensures that you get the most relevant and useful information. Okay? Nabanggit natin kanina yung search, no? Yung pagsi-search online. So, what is online search po ba? Online search class is the process of interactively searching for and retrieving requested information via a computer from databases that are online. Alam naman natin, class, ngayon that internet has made our lives easier in terms of doing research. So, by browsing the internet, we can access limitless topic, di ba? May mga web catalogs are available in many libraries to assist researchers or students in locating printed books, mga journals, government documents, and other materials. Pero, ang biggest obstacle, class, na kinakaharap ng mga researchers at ng mga estudyante na katulad nyo on the internet is how effectively and efficiently access the vast amount of information available sa internet. So, katulad ng sinabi natin kanina, online search is the process of using internet search engines or databases to find information or resources available on the internet. Yan, class, ay kinakailangan, of course, ay yung mga katulad ng sinabi natin kanina, yung importance ng paggamit ng mga keywords para makuha natin yung right answer natin. Okay? And para, of course, ma-retrieve natin yung mga information na kinakailangan natin, class, gumagamit tayo ng search engine, no? Si search engine, ito yung nagre-retrieve and nagde-display ng list of web pages, documents, images, or other content na magmamatch dun sa query na hinahanap natin. So, anong ibig sabihin yan, class? Ang purpose lang naman ng online search ay to locate specific information, solve problems, or gather data on a wide range of topics quickly and efficiently. Kaya kinakailangan si user, ulitin ko, users can refine yung searches sa paggamit ng mga specific keywords, phrases, or advanced search techniques para makakuha tayo ng accurate and relevant results, which is yung pag-aaralan natin this afternoon. Okay? So, dahil dyan, of course, we need to understand the concept of contextualized online search. Contextualized online search, class, is an attempt to be more precise in providing the list of documents according to the words used by the user to search the internet. O, ibig sabihin lang yan, si contextualized online search, it refers to the practice of tailoring search queries based on a specific context or needs of the users para makakuha tayo ng relevant and precise results. Okay? Nabanggit natin, class, kanina na sa pag-search online, of course, kailangan natin gumamit ng mga search engines. Search engines, class, yung mga nakikita nyo na yan sa screen natin, those are online tools that helps users find information on the internet by indexing and retrieving web content based on search queries. So, yung sila Google, si DuckDuckGo, si Bing, Google Scholar, si Yahoo, those are examples of search engines that we can use in order for us to retrieve data, files, or documents from databases available on the internet. Okay? So, si search engine, of course, ibig sabihin nun, mag-ita-type tayo ng web address. With that, ibig sabihin, gumagamit tayo ng URL o yung Uniform Resource Locator. So, what is the concept or what is a Uniform Resource Locator? It is a web address, class, used to access resources on the internet. It provides the specific location of a resource and the protocol used to retrieve it. So, ayan, class, yan yung components ng isang URL. Meron siyang tinatawag na protocol, subdomain, domain name, at saka path or page. When we say protocol, it specifies the method used to transfer data between the web server at saka yung client o yung browser. Katulad niyan, class, ang ginamit dyan na common protocol kasi ay yung HTTP. Ibig sabihin ng HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Meron din tayong ginagamit na HTTPS, ibig sabihin naman nun, Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. So, pag gumagamit tayo, class, ng nagsisearch tayo, class, sa internet, ang piliin natin na mga siguraduhin natin na yung pipiliin natin na website ay ang protocol ay HTTPS. Dapat secured. Secured yung web na gagamitan natin para pag maglalagay tayo ng data, pinakailangan maglagay ng ating data, ma-assure natin na yun, class, ay secured, no? So, yan yung example dyan, HTTPS. And then, the next one is yung tinatawag natin, class, na subdomain. It is a prefix o prefix added to the domain name that helps to organize and navigate different sections of websites. So, it usually appears before dun sa domain name. Di ba ang domain name natin dito sa example ay hostfinger.com. So, bago yan, ang kailangan muna natin ay yung subdomain natin, which is yung www. Kasi nga, siya yung magna-navigate ng different sections of websites, no? Then, the next one is the domain name. It is the main part of the URL that identifies the specific website or server. So, kung ang pupuntahan mo ay si Yahoo, syempre ang i-access mo ay yahoo.com. Itong example natin, ang pupuntahan natin ay si hostfinger.com. So, ibig sabihin, yan yung kanyang pinaka-domain name. Okay? Then, the next one is the path or page. So, it specifies the exact location of a resource within the domain. Ano yung specific page niya? Ano yung specific file niya? O kaya yung kanyang directory. So, yan, ang nakalagay dyan ay tutorials/what-is. So, ibig sabihin, yan yung pinaka-specific page or file or directory nung website na pupuntahan natin. So, I hope clear po sa inyong class yung components ng Uniform Resource Locator o yung URL. So, meron tayong protocol, subdomain, domain name, at path or page. Okay? So, those are the popular domains na nagagamit natin, class. Meron tayong .edu for the educational institution, .org for non-profit organization, .gov for government site, .com for commercial site, and .net naman for network. And ayan naman, guys, yung .ph, .eu, .uk, .au, yan naman yung mga country code top level domains, no? Na nag-determine ng location ng isang website. Okay? Next is, napag-aralan na natin, class, malinaw na sa atin yung ibig sabihin ng online search, contextualized online search, search engine, and the URL. Of course, you need to know, class, the different tips in conducting an online search. Very important na malaman nyo kung how are you going to conduct an online search. The first one is you need to have a question in mind. You need to start with a clear and specific question or objective. Kasi knowing what you're looking for helps you frame your search query more effectively. For example, class, if you want to find information on renewable energy, specify nyo anong aspect yung interested kayo. Kung sa renewable energy lang, itatype mo renewable energy, ang lalabas puro renewable energy lang, no? Pero kung ilalagay mo doon ay benefits of solar energy, ang ibibigay sa inyo ay yung exact answer na gusto nyong makita. Sa business, let's say for example, sa business, pag ang tinype mo lang ay business, so kung ano-anong lalabas doon na information about business. Pero kung ilalagay mo doon na i-specify mo doon na ang hinahanap mo ay business for a small, for a beginner. Halimbawa, business for a beginner. So, ang ibibigay sa iyo ay mga business about sa mga beginner or nag-i-start pa lang na negosyo. Okay? Next is, narrow it down. You need to refine your search terms to be more precise, no? Kasi broad queries can yield too many results. So, ang nangyayari dyan, ang daming hindi relevant na results na makikita mo. Halimbawa, instead of searching for energy, narrow it down to advantages of solar energy for residential use. Para makuha mo yung exact na information na kinakailangan mo. O let's say for example, ang tinype mo lang ay business plan. Pero ang gusto mo pa lang matutunan is how to make or how to prepare a business plan. So, dapat, yun yung exact na, yun kung ano yung kinakailangan mo, yun yung itatype mo. Kasi, dapat precise and exact lagi yung keyword na gagamitin natin. And of course, you need to learn how to use advanced search. You need to learn how to utilize advanced search features offered by search engine na ginagamit nyo para ma-filter nyo yung results more effectively. Okay? So, katulad nito, class. In Google Advanced Search Options, it can include specifying the data range, excluding certain words, or searching within specific websites. Nakakatulong yon, class, para makikita natin yung more relevant and up-to-date information. So, paano natin makikita, class, yung advanced search? Pupunta ka lang doon sa quick setting, ayan, yung may gear na symbol, quick setting, and then, i-click mo lang yung advanced search, tapos lalabas na yung menu ng panel for the advanced search. Diyan, like what I said, you can narrow your results by language, region, last update, or site or domain. So, mas madali mong ma-filter yung search na lalabas dun sa search engine na ginagamit natin. Okay? And then the next one is look for credible source. You need to look for a credible source, class. You need to evaluate the reliability of the sources that you find. You need to prioritize information from reputable and authoritative na mga websites, katulad ng academic institutions, government sites, o kaya yung mga established news organizations. You also need to check the author's credentials and publications credibility to ensure na yung information na kukunin natin ay accurate and trustworthy. Sabi nga dyan, class, you need to evaluate web resources based sa kanilang authority, purpose, coverage, currency, objectivity, and accuracy. So, you need to assess, sa authority, you need to assess who is responsible for the content. So, kinakailangan i-evaluate nyo yung author's qualifications, yung expertise niya, yung affiliations niya. Kinakailangan i-check nyo yung kanyang credentials, ano yung professional background niya, kung alimbawa yung author or organization ay recognized ba siya as an authority in the field. For instance, an article on medical topics written by a certified doctor or a reputable health organization. So, ibig sabihin, mas credible yon. Kung pagdating naman sa business, kinakailangan yung writer ay makikita nyo talaga o yung author ng libro ay related yung course niya sa business o kaya naman ay kasali siya sa isang organization na puro mga businessman at businesswoman, mga successful business owner. So, para makikita natin na align siya doon sa kanyang dinidiscuss na topic doon sa kanyang sinulat na content. Okay? The next one is the purpose. You need to understand, class, the reason why the content was created. No, we need to determine if the purpose is to inform, persuade, entertain, or kaya naman ay to sell. Kinakailangan natin maging cautious of content that aims to persuade or sell, no? Kasi pwedeng maging bias na pala yun. For example, may isang website na nagpo-promote ng product. It might emphasize benefits while downplaying mga potential drawbacks about doon sa product na binibenta nila. Then the next one is the coverage. You need to evaluate how comprehensively the resource covers the topic. You need to check if the information ay detailed and addresses various aspects of the subject, no? Kasi kinakailangan yung well-covered resources or resource should provide thorough and balanced information. So, need natin i-check yung coverage ng content na nababasa natin online. Then, the next one is the currency. Anong ibig sabihin ng currency sa pag-i-evaluate ng web resources? Ibig sabihin nun ay yung timeliness ng information. We need to check the timeliness of the information. Ensure that the content is up-to-date. Dapat up-to-date siya and it reflects the most recent development or research. Example, a website discussing a current technology trends. Kinakailangan updated yan para malaman natin na relevant yung information na nakukuha natin. Next is objectivity. So, we need to determine if the information is presented fairly and katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, dapat walang bias. So, look for balanced viewpoints and verify if the content presents multiple perspective, no? Kaya kailangan makita natin na, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, hindi siya dapat bias. Accuracy. The last one is the accuracy. We need to verify the correctness of the information na pinoprovide ng author. So, kinakailangan marunong tayong mag-cross-check facts with other reliable sources and look for evidence supporting the claims made, no? Siyempre, yung halimbawa, isang scientific study, kinakailangan nag-i-include yan ng data and references na ito ay na peer-reviewed research. Hindi yung isang tao lang yung gumawa noon. Kinakailangan may peer review po siya. So, by evaluating class or by carefully evaluating yung mga aspects na yan, you can ensure that the web resources you use are credible, comprehensive, and trustworthy. Sabi nga, di ba, you cannot trust quotes found on the internet, especially quotes posted on Facebook. You need to check your sources. Hindi lahat na nakikita natin, class, online ay totoo. Minsan kasi may mga instances na nilalagyan ng mga picture ng mga tao na kilala, no? Tapos, sasabihin sinabi niya yon, kinuquote na sinabi niya yon, pero hindi naman niya talaga sinabi. So, with that, kinakailangan marunong tayo mag-evaluate ng mga information online. Okay? Then, the next one is give credit. So, give credit, class. When using information from online sources, kinakailangan nagpo-provide tayo ng proper attribution. You need to cite the sources of your information to give credit to the original authors and to avoid plagiarism. No? This not only respect intellectual property rights but also enhances yung credibility ng sarili mong gawa. So, meron naman tayong paraan para to give credit, di ba? Ayan, class, yung paano tayo paano yung gagawin natin na pagsa-cite ng sources ng information natin. Una daw nating lalagay ay yung name ng person or organization, title of the homepage in italic, and then yung URL at saka yung date na last seen or last na niretrieve natin yung information. So, our next topic is the concept of copyright infringement, no? It is the use or production of copyright protected material without the permission of the copyright holder. So, copyright infringement class occurs when someone uses, reproduce, or distributes copyrighted material without the permission of the copyright holder. So, this can involve yung pagkopya ng text, images, music, or other creative works without authorization. So, syempre, nababiolate kasi yung exclusive rights granted dun sa copyright owner. So, let's say, for example, if a student copies and pastes an entire article from an online magazine sa research paper without proper citation or permission, yun, class, pwede siyang i-consider na copyright infringement kasi yung student ay, ang ginawa ay kinopya yung magazine, online magazine, yung content nun without acknowledging the sources or the source or hindi nag-seek ng approval, which violates the magazine's right to control the distribution and reproduction of their work. So, kaya i-consider siya as a copyright infringement. So, there are some tips that could help us to avoid yung tinatawag natin na copyright infringement. Of course, we need to understand, class, that copyright covers creative works katulad ng books, photos, painting, films, music, even yung dance routines and sculptures ay cover siya ng copyright. Okay? However, class, yung copyright usually does not protect basic ideas or facts. This means na pwede naman natin siyang you can share your own version of an idea or fact, but you should still give credit to the original source of that idea or fact para hindi siya ma-consider as copyright infringement, no? We need to be responsible when using material from the internet, even if a piece of content doesn't explicitly say it's copyrighted. Hindi ibig sabihin nun na you're free to use it without permission. It's our job, class. It's your job bilang mga estudyante to check and make sure if something is protected by copyright before natin siya gamitin. We need also to be creative. We need to consider if your work is original or if it relies heavily on someone else's ideas. It is very important, class, to put your own unique touch in into your creations so that it will reflect your own magre-reflect doon, class. It would reflect your own creativity and yung tinatawag natin na innovation. Katulad example, class, yung activity nyo na poster making. Hindi po pwede yun na basta-basta nyo na lang siya gagawin, kukuha kayo ng gawa ng iba online, no? Copyright infringement po yung ganun. Know the law, no? Be aware, class, that copyright law have some limits, no? Here in the Philippines, class, copyright protection lasts for the lifetime of the author plus may 50 years pa. Additionally, there's something na tinatawag natin na fair use, which allows limited use of copyright material without permission, pero may certain condition. So, pag-aaralan natin yan. Ano ba yung tinatawag natin na fair use? Fair use, class, is a legal principle. It is a legal principle that allows limited use of copyrighted material without permission from the copyright owner. Pero, katulad ng sinabi ko sa inyo kanina, under specific condition. It means, kumbaga, ang purpose niya pala ay to balance the rights of copyright holders with the need for public access to information and creative expressions. Example, class, ng paggamit ng fair use. Ito, again, class, yan yung symbol na yung yan yung symbol, class, na pwede siyang gamitin. Fair use yun. Yan yung logo na ginagamit. No, pwedeng gamitin yung copyrighted material kung ito ay gagamitin mo for commentary and criticism. No, halimbawa, gumamit ka ng excerpts from a book or film in a review or critique to illustrate your points. For instance, quoting a few lines from a novel, no, to analyze its themes in a book review, pwede po yun. Halimbawa naman sa educational purposes, no, gagamit ka ng copyrighted material for teaching. Sa pagpapakita ng mga brief clip from a film in a classroom setting to discuss about cinematography, pwede po yan, class. Pagdating naman sa news reporting, no, yung pag-i-incorporate ng mga small portion of copyrighted material in news report, pwede rin po yun, class. Magagamit din po, pwede rin gamitin yung mga copyrighted material. Sa parody, class, pwede rin yung pag-create ng parody or satire that comments or imamak yung original work. Pwede po yun. Halimbawa, yung sample ng isang parody ng popular song, no? Tapos gagawin mo siyang humorous, parang yung song siya, magiging humorous na siya, na nagtatackle ng social issues while using the original song's melody. Pwede po yun. Katulad ng mga ginagawa, class, ni Michael B. Diba? Mahilig siya sa mga ganyan, mga parody songs. Now, fair use, class, is subject to interpretation and varies by jurisdiction. So, it is very important to consider factors like ano yung purpose niya, ano yung amount ng material na magagamit nyo, at ano yung impact nito on the market value of the original work, para safe tayo sa paggamit ng mga information. Okay? Okay, our next topic are the Boolean logic in online research. So, it refers to the use of specific operators to refine and focus search results. So, yung mga operators na to, class, can help you combine or exclude keywords to narrow down search results effectively. There are three primary Boolean operators na pwede natin gamitin sa pagre-research. Meron tayong and, or, at saka yung not. So, let us first discuss yung OR operator. So, OR operator, class, is used to include at least one of the specified keywords in the search result. It helps broaden the search by allowing any of the terms to appear. Let's say, for example, class, if you search for solar energy or wind energy, the results will include pages that mention either solar energy o kaya naman ay wind energy o kaya naman pinagsama yung solar energy and wind energy po. Example, class, tinype natin sa search engine ay solar energy or wind energy. Pag tinignan natin yung search result, ang lalabas dyan ay pwedeng tungkol kay solar energy o pwede naman kaya tungkol kay wind energy. Kasi may gumamit tayo ng Boolean or doon sa search natin. The next one is the AND operator. So, this operator is used to include multiple keywords in the search, ensuring that all specified terms appear in the search results. No? It helps narrow the search by combining terms. Halimbawa, nag-search ka ng climate change and renewable energy. Yung magiging results nun ay, syempre, tungkol sa climate change at saka sa renewable energy. Example, class, yan. Tinype natin, climate change and renewable energy. O, ang lalabas dyan ay about sa climate change and renewable energy. Magkasama yung kanilang, yung topic, no? The next one is Boolean not. So, this operator class is used naman to exclude certain keywords from the search results, helping to eliminate yung mga irrelevant information. Example class, tinype natin, Jaguar, not, dash, tapos car. Anong ibig sabihin yan, class? Ibig sabihin yan, ang hinahanap natin ay yung Jaguar na animal, hindi yung Jaguar na car. Kasi di ba merong brand ng car na Jaguar. So, para hindi na siya lumabas dun sa search engine natin, dun sa result natin, ini-specify natin na ang hinahanap natin ay yung Jaguar na animal, hindi car. So, tinype natin Jaguar, not, dash, car. So, mai-eliminate na, mai-exclude na yung lahat ng article about dun sa brand ng sasakyan na Jaguar. Okay? The next one is naman class, tapos na tayo dun sa type, dun sa Boolean operators. Dito naman tayo sa tinatawag natin na phrase searching, yung paggamit ng double quote, no? If you are researching the topic class example ng climate change and you want to find information specifically about global warming effects on polar bears, you would enter the phrase into search engine as global warming effects on polar bears. Hindi yung itatype mo lang ay polar bears o kaya global warming. So, dapat i-specify mo na siya ng maigi na ito ay global warming effects on polar bears. Tapos, ilalagay mo siya sa double quote. Ibig sabihin, yung phrase na yon dapat ay mag-a-appear siya doon sa result na ipoprovide sa'yo ng search engine. Example, yan class, global warming effects on polar bears. Dapat lahat yan class, makikita nyo doon yung article ay talaga nakaspecify yung global warming effects on polar bear. Okay? Then the next one is yung plus sign. The plus sign class in search queries is used to indicate that a particular word is required to be included in the search result. Kaya nga siya may plus. No? Ibig sabihin class, nung pag ginamit natin yung plus sign before a word, it tells the search engine that this word must be present in all the search results. Example class, if you are searching for information on healthy recipes and you want to ensure that the search results include the word vegetarian, no, you would enter healthy recipes tapos lalagyan mo ng plus vegetarian. So, ang mangyayari doon, i-include niya yung healthy recipes and the word na vegetarian. So, pag tinype natin siya, ganyan yung lalabas class, di ba? Healthy recipe siya, pero mga for vegetarian. Okay? The next one is minus sign naman. O, kabaligtaran ng plus sign. Sa minus sign, i-exclude naman yung certain words or terms for the search results. Halimbawa, class, ayan, yung example natin. If you are searching for information on Apple, but you want to exclude, tanggalin yung results related to truth, diba? Ang gusto mo palang makita ay yung Apple, pero yung company ng Apple na yung company ng Apple, yung mga sa phone or gadgets. So, ayun yung magiging results. Lalagay mo Apple minus fruit. So, ibig sabihin, ang lalabas ay yung Apple company or about sa Apple company. Okay? The next one is hashtag, which na-discuss din natin to, yung paggamit nito sa paghanap ng information. Na-discuss natin to during our first week. It is used to find popular hashtag. Diba? Alam naman natin na pag gumamit tayo ng hashtag, tapos kung ano yung word, lahat ay mafi-filter out. Makikita natin yung lahat ng gumamit ng hashtag na yon. Next is paghahanap naman ng file na paghahanap ng documents using the file type, no? Using the file type class operator in a search query, it helps refine results to show only document of a specific type. Halimbawa, ang gusto mo ay na type ay PDF. So, specify mo na para na PDF yung gusto mo makitang result. Kung naka-doc siya, ibig sabihin naka-Word, XLS naman, naka-Excel. Halimbawa, climate change file type, tapos nakalagay PDF. So, makikita nyo dyan, class, lahat ng result ay, naka-PDF na pwede natin siyang i-download. Next is yung pagsisearch naman ng site. Paano tayo magsisearch ng site? So, it involves using a search engine to find results from a specific website or domain. So, halimbawa, itatype mo dyan ay National Geographic Information in Australia. So, ang pupuntahan mo na site ay Australia site. O, itatype mo lang nationalgeographic.com, pero ang pinaka-search niya ay lahat ito class ay makikita sa Australia site. Okay? So, I hope na intindihan nyo class yung topic natin for this afternoon. And for your activity po class, you will need to explain each question in not less than 3 sentences. You will going to write your answer in a short bond paper po. Clean short bond paper. So, yan yung mga questions class na kinakailangan yung sagutan. What is the significance of using keywords when searching for information on the web? How do the tips in conducting online search helps you find the correct query results? And what is the role of website domain in evaluating website credibility? So, yan tas yung mga questions na dapat nyong sagutan at ipapasa po yung inyong answer, yung inyong output during our face-to-face classes. So, I hope guys, may natutunan po kayo sa topic natin for this afternoon. Bye!